What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel, where we speak the truth, we're honest, we give our takes on the Miami Dolphins. And yes, if you were wondering where I was for the last week, ladies and gentlemen, I took a mental break. I needed a break from the Miami Dolphins after what transpired on Monday night against the Tennessee Titans in that Monday Night Football game. A pathetic, an absolutely pathetic performance at home by the Miami Dolphins, losing 31 to 12 to the Tennessee Titans. After traveling up to Miami for that game, I needed a mental break from this team. Absolutely disgusting what happened on that night. I needed a break. And with the baseball postseason starting and the Phillies starting up their postseason run, it came at the perfect time. It sucks, but it came at the perfect time. So I'm like, you know what? I need a break. I'm going to go to the game Sunday. Thank goodness I did. What an incredible game yesterday between the Mets and the Phillies. I was there. Fucking, it was so dead. So dead through 5 innings. Mets are dominating. They're hitting home runs. Luis Severino looks like Cy Young. And then you get a home run from Bryce. And you get a home run from Castellanos. And then Nimmo hits a home run in the 7th. But then in the 8th inning, you get a triple from Bryce and Stott. JT with an insurance run. And then Mark Vientos again hits a 2-run shot to tie the game. And then Castellanos walks it off. So happy I went to the Phillies-Mets game yesterday at Citizens Bank Park. Instead of staying home, watching the Dolphins versus the Patriots, that would have been a terrible decision. But I needed a break. Moral of the story is, I needed a break from the Miami Dolphins for the week. I'm like, they're playing the Patriots. It's basically the toilet bowl. Both of these teams are bottom of the barrel ass right now. And it wasn't on my radar. And I just needed a week not to think Miami Dolphins. Barely watched the game. I got home at 9:30 last night, or 8:30, and around 9:30, watched some highlights from the Dolphin game. And I'll give my thoughts on that. We did beat the Patriots 15-10. I'll give my thoughts on all that. Why fans shouldn't be fooled. And to hope, if you are coming out of this game, see that we got the W, and you think everything's going to be okay because of one game against the Patriots, boy, you got another thing coming for you. The Dolphins have their bye this week, so obviously we don't have game coverage this week. We'll be back with that next week. And I'm basically just going to talk about everything that has transpired so far with the Dolphins in this last week. So I appreciate y'all joining me, stopping in here on a Monday night. Your Miami Dolphins defeated the Patriots yesterday 15-10. They're 2-0. Not 2-0. I wish. They're 2-3, and they're going into the bye week in week 6. So that is a positive. I think that they're going into the bye because they are fucking banged up once again. Second season in a row. I should say third season in a row. They're banged up, especially on defense. We're going to talk about that. We might as well dive right into it. So, I kind of want to talk about this game for a little bit, or everything that transpired before the game. Odell Beckham's back. It's good to see him. It's good to see Odell. He didn't really do much in the game yesterday, but it's still good to see him that he's back with this team. Jordan Poyer got injured the week prior against Tennessee, and Jalen Phillips partially tore his ACL when he collided with Jordan Poyer against the Tennessee Titans. He came off the field slamming and throwing his helmet, and he's out for the season. So he is gone for the season, and this defense is missing a ton of injuries. I'm going to talk about that after I talk about this game. So now we go into this game. No Jordan Poyer. Jalen Phillips is out for the season. We get back Kendall Fuller. We get back Teron Armstead. We basically have a healthy offense outside of Tua Tagovailoa, but the main issue with this team in this offense has been not Tyreek Hill, I'm sorry. It's been the play calling of Mike McDaniel. It's been horrendous. It's been absolutely horrendous. It's been absolutely horrendous that his play calling has been that bad. So that's the main issue. I thought Mike McDaniel called a good game yesterday. I thought he adjusted in the second half, which was what was needed. I thought Tyler Huntley had played a good game. I thought Tyler Huntley played a really good game. Do I think Tyler Huntley should have dropped back 30 plus times? Absolutely not. I will talk about that when we get to Mike McDaniel. But Tyler Huntley, he made some really good throws to Tyreek Hill. He used Jonnu Smith a lot. I think Jonnu Smith probably had his best game as a Dolphin so far. He had 5 catches for 62 yards. And look, man, on the interception that he threw, that was a great play by Christian Gonzalez. Tyler Huntley looked to get Tyreek on a slant, and Christian Gonzalez stepped in front of him, got the pick. That's a great play by Christian Gonzalez, and I feel like that's in that situation, you have to tip the cap to him and be like, all right, man, great play. But outside of that, like, he did hold on to the ball too long. That's a problem. But he played a good game. I think Tyler Huntley played a good game yesterday for the Dolphins. But what I'm most proud of was the difference between the second half and the first half, because I didn't watch the whole game, okay? I saw the condensed game because I have Sunday Ticket, and they released a condensed game. So, after that, I watched the condensed game of the Dolphins and the Patriots. Tyler Huntley threw the ball 22 times in the first half. Tyler Huntley is not a throwing quarterback. I wanted to lose my cool in the parking lot at Citizens Bank Park, but people would have looked at me like an idiot. But what did they do differently in the second half? They ran the football. They committed to running the football. And it happened on the game-winning drive. Alec Ingold with some fantastic blocks. Raheem Mostert had some really nice runs. Jalen Wright kind of had his breakout game. Devon Achane had a concussion super early in the game, and it was a really hard landing. So I hope the best for him. It looked kind of brutal, man. Luckily, we're on a bye this week. Hopefully, he's back for Indianapolis. But the duo of Mostert and Jalen Wright, they were fantastic yesterday. And let me go to the stats. Jalen Wright only had 86 rushing yards, but man, they were effective. He was finding holes. He had 13 carries for 86 yards. Raheem Mostert had 19 carries for 80 yards. The Dolphins had 193 rushing yards. They ran the ball 41 times, and they only threw the ball 9 times in the second half. That's what I love to see. That's the Mike McDaniel that we need. Coaching. I thought he was fantastic in that second half yesterday. But Jalen Wright is probably my MVP of the game yesterday. Yes, Alec Ingold got the game-winning touchdown, but Jalen Wright had his breakout game, finding holes, getting a burst run. He averaged over 6 yards a carry, 6.5 yards a carry. He was great. He was great. And I'm really happy to see that because He's our future. Yes, we have Raheem Mostert now. Will we have Raheem Mostert after the trade deadline? I don't know. If things continue to go south, I could see the Dolphins being sellers at the deadline. I could see it because there's players on this team that, you know, are not going to be here next year that maybe a contending team could use. Mostert, Teron Armstead, Bradley Chubb, if he's ever going to play this year. It could happen. It could happen. So, yeah, I am really happy with the game that Jalen Wright played yesterday because he's our future. Now, that's the offense. They probably had their best game of the season outside of the Jacksonville game week 1. That was probably the best offensive performance of the season. And that was probably, I would say, Mike McDaniel's best called game of the season was yesterday in that second half. Now, it doesn't go without saying that the competition that they played was worse than them. The Patriots suck. They're awful. They're awful. And that might be the worst team in the NFL that you just ran the ball all over. Like, can we do that against an Indianapolis? I don't really know. I don't know. But it was a sloppy game. They're undisciplined again. And my God, the thing that made me pissed off the most was special teams. Are you fucking kidding me, Danny Crossman? Are you fucking serious? Field goals off the upright by Jason Sanders. Blocked punts. Bad snaps by Blake Ferguson. Missed field goals. It's terrible. Illegal formation. The special teams performance yesterday was downright horrible. And it needs to be fucking better. We're lucky we played the Patriots yesterday. Because if we played any other team, guess what? That team is capitalizing on our mistakes. Excuse me. That team is capitalizing on the mistakes that we made. So that was downright pathetic. And like, you get down to the New England territory, you get a missed field goal by Jason Sanders. You get down to Patriot territory, miscommunication, bad snap by Aaron Brewer that goes over Tyler Huntley's head. Field goal before halftime. Bad snap by Blake Ferguson. I mean, it was egregious. It was so frustrating, man. So frustrating. That was easily the worst part of yesterday's game, was how undisciplined this team was and how unprepared the special teams looked under Danny Crossman. If they played anybody but the New England Patriots yesterday, they would have lost. They would have lost. Again, the offense, they scored 15 points, but they probably had their best game all season long. And, yeah. Now, let's talk defense. Because the defense was good, but the defense is dealing with a lot of fucking injuries. They're dealing with so many injuries. As we know, I just said, Jalen Phillips is out for the season. We know this. Jalen Phillips is out for the season with a partially torn ACL. Jordan Poyer didn't play because of a shin injury. He should be back after the bye, but he hasn't been good this season. Javon Holland is now injured. Yes, Javon Holland is injured, and this happened yesterday when I don't know how it happened, but it's a hand injury. He's considered week to week. He suffered a broken bone in his hand. It says right here he could have surgery on his left hand. So if he does have surgery, he's out for the season. He's done for the season. But Mike McDaniel said on Monday that Holland is week to week with a fractured hand he sustained against the New England Patriots. It says here, Miami has a bye scheduled for week 6, which should help minimize the time Holland is forced to miss as he recovers. However, if he misses any more game action, Marcus May is the next man up. So Marcus May is looking like he's going to be taking over the safety role, along with Jordan Poyer. Without Javon Holland, that's true. I'll say this: Javon Holland has not had that good of a season. I feel like Javon Holland's been like, he's been okay, but he did not play good against Seattle. He did not play good against Buffalo. He certainly did not play good against Tennessee. The only good game he had was the Jacksonville game where he made that game-saving fumble. The game-saving fumble against Travis Etienne. And he hasn't really had that big of an impact on the season. But this is a big injury for the Miami Dolphins. A big injury. And he's young. And what sucks about this is it's terrible timing for him because it's a contract year. And because I don't know what that was, but because Javon Holland was not a first-round pick, Javon Holland does not get a fifth-year option. So Javon Holland is technically going to be a free agent after this season. And we know how the Dolphins played the waiting game with the free agents last year. They waited for Robert Hunt. They got nothing done. They brung it into free agency, and Robert Hunt walked. They tried talking to Christian Wilkins in October in the middle of the season. It didn't work. They resumed it in the offseason, and they let Christian Wilkins walk. They didn't even offer Andrew Van Ginkel a contract. Do you see what he's doing for the Minnesota Vikings? He's got 2 touchdowns this year. He's got more touchdowns than Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill do combined this season. They didn't even offer Andrew Van Ginkel a contract. So if they didn't offer him a contract, they let Christian Wilkins walk. They let Robert Hunt walk. You don't think the same thing's going to happen to Javon Holland? Because I do. And the fact that Robert Hunt missed so much time last year, that played a huge part into him, into Chris Grier not signing Robert Hunt. So this could play a huge part into Chris Grier not signing Javon Holland. It could play a crucial part in that. And, Anthony Weaver's doing a great job so far. He's doing a great job, but it's like towards the end of the year, last year with Vic Fangio, it's like you can only do so much with all the talent that you're missing, all the injuries. Like now, you're without Jalen Phillips. You got the rookie Chop starting. He really didn't do much yesterday. Now you're going to have Marcus May starting at safety with Poyer when he comes back. Or it might be Elijah Campbell. It honestly could be Elijah Campbell that starts at safety. Now that Holland is gonna be missing some time, it might be Elijah Campbell. So they're banged up everywhere on defense, and it's not good. It's not good because yes, we're going to be facing some very explosive offenses after this bye week. After this bye week, we played the Indianapolis Colts. And I know they're 2-3 right now, man, but they're a good team. They're a straight up good team. That'll be a tough game. Then they play Arizona. Arizona just beat San Francisco yesterday. And then they play the Bills. And we don't have to comment on that because the Bills own us. Straight up. The Bills own us. So, where does this leave us? Where does this leave the Miami Dolphins? Well, we're 2-3. We just beat the New England Patriots 15-10. Am I impressed by that? Fuck no. The Patriots are probably the worst team in the NFL. So, the competition they played yesterday was bad. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 1-4. They just got their first win. They stink. They barely beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they barely beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they barely beat the New England Patriots. And they got blown out by the Tennessee Titans at home. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not doing it. Mike McDaniel called a great game yesterday, but it's a one-game sample size. And I've seen more bad this year than I have good. To make me actually trust Mike McDaniel moving forward, I still don't trust him. Like, what's going to happen in the next game next week against Indy? What's going to happen? Are we going to run the ball again like we did against the Patriots? Indy's a much better team than the Patriots are. Much better. And, yeah, we might get some talent back. We might get Jordan Poyer back, but he really hasn't done much. Maybe Devon Achane plays. Maybe you get River Craycraft back. But I don't trust this team still. I don't trust them. And now they got injuries on defense. The defensive side. They're banged up. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. If you're getting your hopes up after a 15-10 win over the Patriots, man, God bless you. God bless you. But that's literally everything that's happened the past week with the Dolphins. And then yesterday, the game. And the big story coming out of yesterday's game was, yes, they got the W, but they're going to be missing Javon Holland for some time now. So, it sucks. It sucks. But I'm going to get out of here. There's no game this week. So, I'm chilling back, relaxing. Wrestle Dream is this weekend on Saturday. Actually, I take that back. I won't be relaxing. Phillies baseball playoffs does not make me relax. It makes me stressed. Game 3 tomorrow. Game 4 on Wednesday. So we'll go from there. But Wrestle Dream, AEW Wrestle Dream is on Saturday night. And I will be doing a review for that show, for the pay-per-view. So that should be fun. But besides that, I am getting up on out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you like to hear from me. Follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And I'm getting out. I will see you in the next one. Have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, fins up. Go Dolphins, baby.